Are buyers turning against the Toyota Tacoma? Is its reign at number one finally coming to an end? Let's talk about it. Well, good afternoon, everybody, and welcome back to RobMotive. So, I was thinking, are buyers turning against the Toyota Tacoma? I gauge this by the comments that I see on my channel and on other forums, like on the Facebook forums on the web, and it seems to be that there's a growing number of people, buyers, that do seem to be turning against the Toyota Tacoma, or at least say they're going to if certain things happen. So let's get into the reasons that I'm hearing that people are seemingly turning against the Toyota Tacoma. Number one, problems, or maybe just quirks. I'm talking about the transmission, first of all. It seems to me that every time you talk about the Tacoma recently, and the more modern Tacoma, like the 2018 and older, or newer I should say, maybe even the 19 to current, people talk about the transmission, the way that it shifts, always gear hunting, never in the right gear, won't hold the gears, all kinds of complaints about the transmission. And I'm hearing that at least for 2022, it seems to be continuing. There is no solution. Now, that might be because Toyota is not willing to put any money into it because they are coming out with the redesign here eventually, someday, 2025, 2026. It's coming eventually. Tech is another area that people talk about. It's not up to date. It doesn't have enough stuff in it. It's not as flashy as some of the other trucks are, the competitors out there. I might tend to agree with that. I think it's perfectly fine the way that it is. I mean, it does everything you want it to do, but it doesn't have that awe factor that a lot of the newer or competitive trucks have. Take, for example, and I know this is not a mid-size, but the mini truck, the Santa Cruz. I keep going to that because I have one now. But it has a lot of really modern, up-to-date stuff in it. It looks good, and it works good, and it feels good. We don't get all of that out of the Tacoma. The price. The price keeps going up, and it doesn't help that we have all these market adjustments out there. I think that kind of sours the buyer a little bit. If you can go out and you can buy something else at MSRP or even deal on it a little bit, why would you spend the extra money on a truck that is arguably dated at this point? I think that leaves a bad taste in a lot of people's mouths. They don't want to pay more money for stuff, particularly if you're not getting anything more. It's going to be interesting to see with the 2023 third gen Tacoma that's coming, whether or not we're going to see a price increase on that. Because what are they giving us? Is it because of part shortages, the world situation? How are they going to justify it if they do? For 2023, they're only giving us 2 or 3 other things: a chrome package, a blacked out SXX package, and a different color for the Pro. Does that warrant a price increase? Are you willing to pay more for those things, even if you don't get that package? Leave a comment, I'd be curious. Number 2, the upcoming 4-cylinder engine. This is a huge point of contention amongst the Tacoma enthusiasts out there. Nobody wants it. They want the V6. Heck, they'd take a V8, maybe a V6 turbo, who knows. But there's one out there at least that still has the V6, and that's the brand new Nissan Frontier. I'm starting to hear more and more people talk about going to the Frontier if indeed Toyota does follow through and come out with only a 4-cylinder turbo option. Now, the Frontier is a nice truck. Would I throw it in the same category as the Tacoma? No, not really. I like the looks of the Tacoma. I am a Tacoma enthusiast, and I would never put it and the Nissan Frontier on the same level. But a lot of people are. I've had a couple of people tell me that they've bought the Frontier recently. Of course, we have the mini trucks, the electrics coming, and all the other stuff. Toyota really needs to pay attention on this redesign and get it right. I'd hate to see them fall from number 1. Number 3, availability. You can't find them. Now, that's a testament to the popularity they still do have. My dealership, they're gone before they even come in. Usually everything they have on allocation is spoken for. People have put down deposits, you can't get one. That's another reason why people will turn to other models. I mean, if you need a truck, Let's say it's your only vehicle and it's your daily driver. Well, of course you're going to have to go to something else. I mean, you can't just not drive. Are you going to call into work and say, well, my truck's not running, I can't find a new Tacoma, so I just won't be in today? I think you'll have more to worry about than the next truck you're going to buy if you do that very often. Number 4, this is another big one. The lack of power, the lag. Now, of course, there is a solution to the lag. There are a few solutions. The one I've gone with is a sprint booster. Plug and play option, stick it in down by the accelerator, formerly known as the gas pedal, and the acceleration is taken care of. The lag is gone. Pretty simple way to fix it. You could also go with a tune. For me, tunes are for tracks. You know, I'm not tracking my Tacoma, so I'm not going to spend the money on that, nor do I want to have it messed with by somebody. You know, how well do you know that person that's sitting there on that laptop changing the brain of your Toyota Tacoma? Not something I'm willing to do, particularly when there's a plug and play option that will take care of that. Now, the 4-cylinder turbo, that's going to be interesting. I think if Toyota sets it up right, nobody's going to complain about it because it's going to give us the power and the acceleration that apparently people other than just me want, because I hear so many complaints about the power and the lag of the Toyota Tacoma. Number 5, fuel economy. Now this one is always funny to me because it's truck, right? Since it's a truck, fuel economy is supposed to suck. You just live with it. It's the way it is. You should accept it. But man, do I hear complaints about it. And you know, mine's not doing too great either. It fluctuates, it seems. I don't know if it's just not feeling good on some days, but on some days I'm pushing 20, maybe a little more, 22, 21, and then on other days I'm somewhere in the 14, 15, maybe 16 mile per gallon range. I don't know if it's the weather, the humidity, the barometric pressure. Maybe my foot is just a little bit heavier. Of course, I do drive different areas. It's probably related to that. I mean, obviously, the slower you drive, the more stops and starts you have, the worse your fuel economy is going to be. But still, it's such a wild fluctuation that it doesn't make a lot of sense to me. There are other options out there. You know, we have this, again, mini truck, the Ford Maverick, that's getting as much as what, 40 miles per gallon if you go with a hybrid? Toyota's got to do something about it. Now, do I think they're going to come out with a redesigned truck that's going to get 40 miles per gallon? Maybe if they go with a hybrid version, but just a 4-cylinder turbo? Probably not. Going to be in the mid-20s consistently, maybe pushing high 20s, and that's all we can expect. Hopefully, Toyota follows that up with a hybrid for those who want it. Not really sure I do. But for those who want it to get better gas mileage to compete with some of the other trucks that are out there. It's going to be a very interesting time once we get to that redesign point for the Tacoma. Leave a comment, let me know. Do you fall into any of these categories? Do you subscribe to any of these points that people talk about for reasons why they might be turning against the Toyota Tacoma? I'd be curious to know. Also, real quick, I do have 2 additional channels. RobMotive MT, all about mini trucks, and RobMotive JT, all about Jeep Gladiators. Check them out, and if you're interested, please consider subscribing. Thanks for watching. Stay safe out there. Bye.